Welcome back everyone, Oz here, and today I've got some r/AmITheDevil for you all. As per usual, I'll be reading the posts, giving you my own opinion, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Posted to r/advice. Is my 30 male friend, 25 male, being used by his girlfriend, 27 female? My friend Angelo is not typically the best with women. He's okay, but he does not do as well as me. I'm taller, more confident, and charismatic to be honest. The only thing he has over me is money. Anyway, when we were bowling last October, we started talking to the group besides us. There were two girls. Ashley, Angelo's girlfriend now, but we had just met them, and Michaela. And I started the conversation. Ashley is definitely the hot one. Like, she's just fine. 10 out of 10. Something strange happened because Ashley was gravitating more towards Angelo, even though I was initiating the conversation more. When we went to the bar, I made sure to sit next to her, and Angelo was next to Michaela. Now, I know what you're thinking. Maybe Michaela called dibs on me and Ashley was respecting that. Nope, Michaela had a boyfriend at the time, now fiance, and she made it very clear that she was loyal. Something about that does not check a good box in my brain. I don't know why. Maybe she's after Angelo for his military benefits. Angelo did time active duty before going to the reserves and makes a lot of money as a government worker. He makes like $140K, and even here in the DC area, that's really good. I could see that, but she's a nurse practitioner, so not exactly hurting for money. It was crazy because she gave him her number, even though I had asked all night, LOL. He said something about not stretching, even though he works out a lot. I'll give him that in really good shape, but he's only 5'9", I'm 6'2". She said, oh, take my number and we can do a yoga class together. I was sure she was using him, but couldn't figure out what. Now I don't know, maybe she isn't, because I didn't expect them to actually become boyfriend/girlfriend or even talk this long. It's just weird. Don't get me wrong, my friend is probably the nicest dude you will ever meet, but the more like the typical naive nice guy, if you get my drift. You sound jealous. You sound peanut butter and jelly. Also, I figured out why that comment didn't check a box in my head properly. I find it weird that she mentioned that she was loyal and she felt like she had to make it very clear that she was loyal, which gives me the impression that OP, when he realized that Ashley wasn't coming on to him, he went after Michaela. Michaela informed him that she was in a relationship. He continued to press, so she made it very clear that she was loyal. I think that's why it itched that part of my brain that made me do a bit of a double take there. Also, I can't believe OP just casually admitted that he had pestered her for the entire night for her number, and is now thinking that, oh, well, she didn't want my number, but she wanted his number. It must be the money! That's the only possible explanation! I also just want to point out that OP's evidence for the accusation that the girl is using his friend for his money comes from the fact that in the time period from October to now, the only evidence that he has is rather than going for the strapping 6'2" hunk of a man that OP is who pesters you for your number, she went for the guy who was more relaxed and just vibing. So therefore, despite by his own admission that she's a nurse, it must be a money thing, because that's the only thing that his friend has above him. According to him, at least. Cross-posted from r/AmITheAsshole. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter she was being a brat after she cried about blowing out her birthday candles? I have 4 kids, 23, 20, 16, and 13. This concerns my oldest. I will refer to her as Zara. We don't normally do big parties in our family after double digits, and 18th and 21st. But Zara has been going through a bit of a difficult time, so we decided to throw her a surprise party. This was yesterday. It was a big family party, and Zara was enjoying it. Then the cake was brought out. I have a lot of young nieces and nephews, so naturally they wanted to stand up with Zara, and she had no issue. When she went to blow out the candles, my 5-year-old niece blew most of them out before her. Everyone laughed it off. My youngest actually put 23 candles on the cake, and there were still a few lit. So I told Zara to blow those out. She did, but she looked angry and started crying. She then walked off. After that, it got quite awkward and my sister, niece's mom, got upset/embarrassed that her daughter is a kid and didn't mean to do it, and she didn't think Zara would act like this. We all calmed her down that it's not her fault. I talked to Zara and told her she was being a selfish brat and making a scene. She's 23 getting mad about birthday candles. She was still upset, and my other kids are telling me I wasn't being fair to Zara. This is an interesting case of missing reasons here. Now, why is Zara having a difficult time? Well, it's funny you should say that because her fiance died. Or, well, soon to be fiance. But still, Zara was going through hell. Her fiance just suddenly passed away. She was having a birthday for her that everyone was invited to. And yeah, while a 5-year-old blowing out candles is pretty nice, her mental health definitely wasn't there. And to have suddenly just something as small as blowing out her birthday cake taken from her, just like her fiance, I'm sure she wasn't doing very well. And then she got called a brat for it. Now, before we read his comments, credit where it's due, he was unaware of the proposal, but he was aware of the passing of Zara's friend. One of her friend's older brother recently passed. Even without the context of the engagement, that is an insane detail to leave out as to what she's going through and why she's having a hard time. Later, OP would comment, "I know they were friends, but I thought it was just that, and it wasn't serious. I found out later that he had apparently proposed to Zara and she was going to say yes, but she needed time to think about it. No one bothered to let me know and it just seemed like a big drama. An additional issue I had was he never bothered to add an edit or a comment or any kind of additional information explaining the fact of, I now know why my daughter was so upset. Her soon-to-be fiance fucking died, and I called her a brat at her own birthday while she was grieving the death of a loved one." I additionally want to add, even without the context of the death of her soon-to-be fiance, OP's reaction is just entirely out of line. The whole fact of the actual matter of what happened is just the cherry on top of the missing reasons. A very convenient thing to leave out of the story, even if it was just left at recently one of her friends had passed, which was all the context OP initially had. Cross-posted from r/the10th dentist. Yes, I know this is low-hanging fruit, but Celebrities shouldn't openly date or make it known they're in a relationship. There's a few reasons for this. 1. Some fans feel they are entitled to a celebrity to not date. In a way, they're correct. They're entitled to a choice between if they support a celebrity in a relationship and if they don't. I've seen many Korean/Japanese idols or celebs lost popularity once they've been caught in a relationship. That's not a bad thing. Being in a relationship automatically halts some growth, as your spending time will be away from your fan/talent with that other person you're dating. To be famous, sacrifices should be made. What sort of luxury are you permitted if you want to be adored by millions and be in the top percentile? Being in a relationship is a luxury, and it shouldn't be made public if you want to retain fans. The same way people lose popularity once they pick a political side, they should lose it when their current dating history is revealed. This is just incredibly parasocial and entitled. I hope I don't have to explain that. But also, specifically bringing up Japanese and Korean idols and the kind of shit they go with, there was once a story of one of them having their location tracked through the reflection of their eyeball, where one of their fans then using that reflection was able to cross-reference that on Google, hunted her down, and did unspeakable things to her. Using the treatment of Korean and Japanese idols as a way to prove your point is just a horrendous hill to die on. And trust me, I've had my fair share of hills. And buddy, this is not one you even want to approach. And this shit expands well beyond Japanese and Korean culture. This is now moving into the VTuber industry. This has moved into celebrities. You are, as a public figure, not allowed to date if you are female, or else you are going to get some of the most vile hatred sent your way that is just repugnant. Because to a lot of these people, you are not a person, you are an object. And something tells me, if I'm just gonna throw out a tinfoil hat theory, I'm guessing that OP might follow VTubers or some kind of American celebrity, or perhaps just a English-speaking celebrity that's not usually bound to the Korean and Japanese culture of needing to hide their current relationship. They recently came out as being in a relationship. OP, having the ideals that he has so proudly posted on r/the10th dentist, has decided to say, you know what, I think that you should fear for your life and not post about your relationship online. Because that's why they do it. That's why they don't post about their relationships. It's fear. And yeah, there's an argument to make for the PR perspective that you're going to lose a bit of popularity. But in the end, if you have fans that are willing to cross-reference the reflection of your iris, that is something to be more afraid of than the loss of revenue. Cross-posted from r/relationship advice. I'm, 19 male, unable to get over that my girlfriend, 20 female, was touched by someone else before me, and it's tearing me apart. How can I save my relationship from falling apart? Hi! Post-recording Oz here. Unfortunately, I very much believe that what you're about to hear is very, very real. Because I know people like this, and have known people like this in my past. Good luck! Words cannot prepare you for what you're about to hear. I know I'm really, really insecure about physical touch, and I made that clear to her at a very early stage of our relationship, even before I proposed to her, to which she never disagreed or got angry. And after the relationship started, she told me she's a virgin, without me asking, and said I'm her first in every way. Note, we know each other in real life for many years, but our relationship is long distance. It also started as long distance and is secret from our families, so most of our conversations happen over chat only. We do calls, but most of the fights happen over chat, unfortunately. So keep this detail in mind. So, where did the problem arise? Before I proposed to her, she told me about her past, though it's not even technically a past. She and I both hate calling it a past. It was someone she started talking to, through chats not in real life, and accepted his proposal. But she told me she never loved him, just thought he was nice. So she accepted it, but never loved him. After 3 months of normal chatting, that guy showed his true colors. He started abusing women and being disrespectful. All of this happened through chats, not in real life. She blocked him after 4 months, but was forced to unblock and continue because that guy would call and threaten to tell her parents. This continued for months, though there wasn't much talking, chatting. After a few months, they met once with a third person. A girl, her friend. So it wasn't actually a date. She was unwilling to meet. Nothing happened between them. No kiss, no sweet talk, nothing physical, as per what she told me. But when they met, unwillingly, her hand touched his for a second, and he side-hugged her. She didn't do anything, just stood there. Only that much physical contact happened, and nothing more. After this, she finally gathered the courage to tell her parents and blocked him permanently. When I was told all this, I was shocked and sad. Sad for her that she let it all happen. And also for me, that she was touched and accepted someone else. Even though she told me she never loved anyone but me. I was really sad, but I still loved her at that point. After a few days, I proposed to her, and she accepted with excitement. She told me she had been waiting for me to propose and that she loved me from the start. I was happy, and she was happy. But the feeling about all that earlier incident was still in my heart. For many months, things were happy. No fights from my side. But when that feeling started getting heavier, that she was with someone else, even if unwilling and without love, I really thought she was lying just to make me feel like I'm her first. It started to hurt. The fact that she was touched and even said, "I love you too," to someone else made me feel bad. Then I started fighting with her, saying that I always wanted to be her first, but I wasn't sure if I really was. She kept telling me that I'm really her first. first kiss, first touch. But I couldn't stop thinking that she had been with someone else. I put doubts on her, like maybe she was hiding details, etc. These fights started small, but I never stopped. And the fights turned into something really, really big. A rupture in our relationship, which I caused by fighting so much. With each fight, I asked her if she was hiding anything, asked for details, if she gave him nicknames, sent heart and kiss emojis, etc. Each time I got the answer I wanted, which was no, I didn't. But I started to believe she was lying just to keep me sane. I kept saying she lies to me, that I'm not her first, that the other guy was. But she always said she's only ever loved me. I doubted so much, like whether she's touched more, etc. She really said I don't trust her, and that I should. The fights became serious, they lasted for days. She kept saying she only considers me as her first, and never considered that whole thing as a relationship or past. Just a mistake. I know I was doing wrong to her, but I was hurting so much. I ignored my own wrongdoing. I didn't focus on college, missed classes, and only chatted all day. Now I was slowly realizing my wrongdoing, but then another bad thing happened. I got access to her Instagram account and saw many questionable reels like, "You are the last person I'm living my efforts to. My relationship was unsuccessful," etc. I was shattered when I saw this because I believed her when she said she considered me her first. But these reels said something else. I discussed them with her. She gave other reasons, like it was the movie clip or song that made her save it, not the text, and gave similar reasons. Now anyone in my place would think she's lying, maybe she's not, but the whole situation made me feel like she was. The fight that followed was painful and long. She begged me to believe her and trust her that she is only mine. After this, the fight somehow died down after a few days, but my mind again started thinking how she was touched, why it happened, and why it had to happen. It shouldn't have happened. Now I feel like a man-child who can't accept that fact. It's not like she had sex with someone else that I can't accept. She's still a virgin. She was with someone else, and that too, unwillingly, and was touched unwillingly, and that too, only on hand and shoulder. But my mind wired it as a betrayal. I've mentally beaten her and myself so much over this. Even though I want to stop, I can't. My obsession with the ideal woman I created, that I should be her first and only, that I should touch her, and she deviated from that. That's the reason for my breakdown again and again. I know she's worth it. She's beautiful, loyal, caring, respects me, and doesn't put too many expectations on me. Any other girl would have left me considering how I treated her. I know that. But she endured it all. Stayed. Because I think she really does love me that much. She says she only wants to be with me until old age and marry me no matter what. Even if I keep fighting like this. That's why I know I can't leave her. I also love her. If I leave her, I will regret it. Too long didn't read. In a long-distance relationship where we both love each other a lot, I'm unable to get over the fact that she talked to someone else before me and was touched on the hand and shoulder unwillingly if she didn't initiate it. Even though that incident wasn't technically a relationship, I can't seem to accept it. Despite her having all the qualities I want in a partner, my obsession with being her first, which she says I am, and wanting that no one else ever touched her is slowly killing our relationship through constant fights. Please, I know I'm at the wrong, but please, guide me instead of laughing at me. I didn't want to share all this online, but I did because I'm tired of this feeling. I gotta sit down. Oh my god. Go to therapy. Here, I'm gonna bring my microphone down to me here. I don't even know how to... oh my god. Like, the worst part is I know this is probably real because I've met people like this. Once upon a time when I was 13, I had unsupervised access to the internet and downloaded a little application called Kik. K-I-K, a messaging app. And there's probably a subset of my audience who just shivered with abject horror of what I just stated there. I know that people like this exist, and the whole, like, long-distance e-dating scene is a fucking train wreck, especially in communities where people are more socially disadvantaged. Like, this is way too real. As someone who has accidentally wandered into these spaces as an unsupervised teenager, I've seen this shit happen and people actually act like this. And this is way too detailed and way too fucking on the nose for this to be just an extremely elaborate troll. Because this is unbelievably too real. I also get the vibe that with them being in their 20s or nearly in their 20s, that there is something also cultural going on here with the fact that they can't tell their parents. They're either both in extremely controlling and abusive households, or there's some kind of cultural aspect here going on. Either way, here, I'm gonna stand up and fix my mic real quick. I should probably record some kind of intro disclaimer. Either way, the scariest part of this is how real this is. I don't even know how to approach this. I genuinely have no idea if therapy is even the right choice for OP, or what they need, because this is scary. Cross-posted from r/relationship advice. How do I, 24 male, get my friend, 25 female, to understand I'm not bullying her boyfriend, 25 female? I think they made 25 male. My friend and I have been friends for a bit. She's like a sister to me. Recently, she started dating this guy, and he's different, but cool. To be honest, I got along better with her ex. Her ex is cool as fuck. He actually taught me how to use game to get women, LOL. I can say my success went up tenfold with him, but unfortunately, he cheated on her. So that was the end of that. The new guy is cool, but he seems sensitive. I did some joking and teasing, not just me, but our group. I invited him to hang with her group because he just moved here and she wanted to help him make more friends, so I asked if I could introduce him. I'll admit, we did do some teasing, but he really got in his feelings and just withdrew himself afterwards. Now her ex wouldn't get his feelings. He would banter back. But apparently the new guy felt some type of way, and she's mad and feels I should apologize. I told the guys, and most of them agree, we have nothing to apologize for. Only one thinks we should apologize. And the other one who says we should apologize even knows we weren't trying to bring him down, and that's how we joke. He said some people don't like that humor, and that's why we should apologize. Here's my thing. I get that, but he should grow up if he can't handle some jokes, or at the very least, be a man and communicate that to us, instead of running to his girlfriend. Now she's mad, and I'm trying to tactically handle this. Yes, the Schrodinger's douchebag. Yeah, your buddy's right. Not everyone likes that kind of humor, and you should apologize. And if you don't, you're probably gonna lose the friendship with that girl. Linguist actually has a really fun comment that I stumbled upon that I'd like to take a look at. Quoting one of his comments, I don't really care. Adults just communicate directly when they have an issue. Most people don't go to their girlfriend, as if he's a child and she's his mom, to say his person is mean. I just assumed he developed enough emotional intelligence to speak for himself, but I was wrong. That's my bad. He said, to Reddit, not directly to the person whom he has the issue. I'll apologize if he apologizes for not telling me directly. I hate when people go behind me to bring up something instead of telling me directly. He said, to Reddit, not telling anyone directly. Also, I do just want to cap it off with just pointing out probably my favorite quote from this. He actually taught me how to use game to get women. LOL. followed by almost immediately after, unfortunately he cheated on her, so that was the end of that. And also just the way that he like actively just talks about him like throughout the post is just kind of bizarre. Yeah, the guy that really hurt my friend, yeah, he's fucking awesome. He can take a joke, he teases back, not like this weakling that she brought home now that she really seems to enjoy. He can't take a joke. What kind of jokes were you saying, by the way? Also, just want to add, I doubt that he went and like ran to his girlfriend and was like, they're being mean to me. He probably just brought up the fact of like, yeah, I don't really like hanging out with them because they're assholes. And then the issue got pressed. I guarantee that's probably what happened and not the fact that he went crying off to his girlfriend like OP describes it as. Guys, don't be like this. Be better. This is gross behavior. Cross-posted from r/relationship advice. My, female 29, boyfriend's, male 23, ex, female 33, keeps trying to win him back from me and tries to contact him even after their daughter passed away. How do I put an end to her trying to ruin this for me? Boyfriend and I have been together for a year and we've been living together for 6 months. I'm very much in love and this is who I want to settle down with. The only problem is his overly jealous ex. He dated her a while back and they had a 3-year-old daughter who passed away a couple weeks ago. She had some health complications ever since she was born, and it's been tough on my boyfriend mentally and emotionally. His ex always had the excuse of their daughter to try and talk to him or contact him in the middle of the night. I've tried my best to be here for him emotionally, but I know the pain he's going through won't just go away. The problem is his ex is using the situation to try and win him back over again. I've looked through his phone and I've seen how much she blows his phone up and how she's told him that she regrets her decision and wants things to be how they used to be with him. She calls him at 1 or 2 in the morning crying on the phone to get his attention. She tells him she needs him and has asked him to go, and it's just getting out of hand. She has nothing left to talk about with him anymore. Their daughter is gone, so she has no reason to keep talking to him. How do I completely put an end to this? The last time I blocked her on his phone, she got another phone to try and contact him. Jesus Christ. I don't even know what to say. Like, there's the 10-year age gap between the boyfriend and his ex, and they had a child together. And then on top of that, she's trying to emotionally isolate her boyfriend from any chance of, like, grieving with the person who he had the child with. Like, her boyfriend needs a support system right now, and on one side of it, he's getting someone who's actively conspiring to emotionally isolate him and actively pushing away any chance he has to grieve, and on the other side, he has his ex, who just wants to grieve over the loss of their daughter. All I can say is, holy shit. Don't forget, this is brought to you by GamerSupps. Use code ODDS at checkout. It's basically a caffeine powder that you put in your water, and I actually really like it. I use this on a daily basis. Don't forget that every purchase you make using code ODDS directly supports the channel. And if you want a personal recommendation from me, I would either recommend the Soda Pressing Pear or Dragon Fruit Punch. Those two are currently my favorite flavors. And as a note, once we sell a certain amount of stuff, I get my own flavor and my own cup, and you all know I'm gonna choose some degenerate shit that's gonna make their PR team squirm. My goal is to make them regret partnering with me. So please, use code ODDS at checkout to make my dream come true of making a PR team squirm.